everyone, welcome to my channel if you're new and welcome back if you're returning. So today we're going to talk about how word on the curb is Kevin died broke. Also how the angry incels are out here threatening this poor girl because their leader engaged in unhealthy practices, but somehow they want to hold her responsible. And also Kevin Samuels squatting in apartments and avoiding the IRS, y'all. Let's get into some stuff. But before we get into that, let's look at the comment section. So someone voiced their interest in a call-in show, and I'm definitely down, so be on the lookout for that. Also, some woman tried to run up on the stage, y'all. She tried to Will Smith me, but it's all good because she got dog walked right back to her seat. Like, she seriously tried to get cute in the little comment section and jump out the window, but it's okay. Anyway, y'all, I really want to give a super big shout out to the men and the women who actually watch the full video and open their minds to other perspectives, whether they agree or not. And to the men who want to be victims, please go ahead and get y'all's emotions in check because no one really cares for the hyper emotional displays of self-loathing. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on. So after a quick back and forth with someone in the comments section, I've seen that there is a misunderstanding of what die alone means. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, who doesn't understand this? This is common sense, but this is the internet. And I actually was listening to our Mom Wiggins show last night, and there was a woman that called on Jamaican woman. She didn't understand what it meant either. Just being real, I was under the impression that anyone that joined in on the die alone conversation, you know, were at least on the same accord with what the definition of dying alone was. So let me break it down for the people in the back. So to die alone means without any meaningful love or connections with friends, family, just your community, you know. To die alone does not necessarily mean in a dark closet all by yourself. Like, that's not what that means. You have to think about it like this. So if you know anyone that works in healthcare, just ask any hospice nurse or an individual who does like terminal or geriatric home health aid, home health care, stuff like that. Ask them what dying alone means. Like, that's the reason that a person is considered to die alone in a hospital of 300 staff members. Even though there are all of that staff there, you would not say, oh no, they didn't die alone. They had staff at the, that walked in and a staff member held their hands as they took their last breath. They would be considered to die alone. The presence of an individual doesn't negate the fact that you're dying alone. So to bring this home, let's bring this back around. We're going to bring it full circle. Kevin died alone. I don't know why y'all struggle so much with this. He died alone. And it just is what it is. And this was made evident by the fact that after he kicked the bucket after he passed out, he fell out on top of the stranger. The ambulance loaded him up and asked the stranger if she wanted to escort him to the hospital, right? Ride in the ambulance. Or she could have followed and went behind the ambulance with her car. And she said, nope, I'm good. She was like, I don't know that old ass man. And she probably had already gotten her payment, allegedly. So she went on about her merry way. She didn't really care. She didn't know him. She's like, oh God, he done died on me. Now it's my problem. So let's go ahead and get into these rumors because that's what a lot of people are having an issue with. So Kevin's out here making all of this money on YouTube. He's a millionaire this, millionaire that, and his ass had less than $1,000 in the bank. I call cap on that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I think that's just a rumor. Just like they tried to say that. I don't say the stranger's name, the escort / nurse allegedly. I don't say her name because I just think it's disrespectful. But at this point, y'all already know her name. You've seen a few pictures because people are just all up in her business. And I wish they would leave her alone. But anyway, the escort / nurse allegedly was a man. They're saying all kinds of stuff because I guess they looked her up and it was a Omar is the first name instead of her actual name. I don't know. I don't really care. That is a woman. And at the end of the day, if it was a man, I mean, this is Atlanta and this is Kevin Samuels. Y'all saw that man in his bed. I don't know why y'all are still trying to act like there wasn't a dude in the bed laying, in a deep slumber. But anyway, so I don't believe that he didn't have any money in the bank. I believe that's just another rumor. Now, as far as these angry incels go, y'all's cult following is ridiculous. Like, y'all men run behind this man. Y'all cape so hard for somebody who didn't give a shit about y'all. And when he was a walking contradiction himself. And, to the person that wants to do the call-in show, we can talk about that then. I'm not going to talk about that right now. But mostly what your guy was saying was either regurgitated from, older people, because I've heard it all my life, or he was making stuff up as he went. Like, either either way, Kevin was full of shit, and it just is what it is. Now, as far as Kevin squatting in an apartment, the apartments that he lived in, it wasn't in his name. So people were saying like, oh, why would Kevin be living in an apartment? It's in somebody else's name. Word on the curb is he's trying to avoid IRS. He still owes that child support that he has not paid. All of this stuff being said, so like he was staying in an apartment that was in somebody else's name because he had bad credit. I've heard a couple different stories. Here's the thing: being a content creator, I could understand him staying in a house or an apartment that's not in his name. That is actually very smart. I don't know if it was in a business name or another individual's name. Either way it goes, I don't see a problem with that. I don't think that's an indicator that he didn't have money or that he had bad credit or he was trying to avoid IRS or avoid the child support people. I don't think that's an indicator of any of that. But you know how people on the internet will do. They just, gossip. They hear something and they run with it. But either way, yeah, I don't think that's an issue that the apartment was not in his name. But I do find it interesting that they want to talk about all the love and support that he had, but like his mother had to find out online what was really real. That's crazy. Like no one had any contact info. Oh, my bad. That's because he died alone. So my sisterly sentiments is this. I told y'all in the last video, y'all need to stop opening your legs to these men. Just stop. Like get to a place mentally where that's not even something that you desire. That is the least important thing about a situation, a relationship, and interaction. You don't need it to the point where you are finding yourself in bed with these toxic men with that toxic mindset, because you mess around and get with one of these new money old school bums and they fall out on top of you because they've been drinking all that Red Bull and messing with that Schno and the damn Viagra, allegedly. And now you sitting up here, don't even know this man. You don't know his middle name. You don't know his real age because he was lying online talking about he's like 52. You don't know anything about him. And now his cult following is peeking around the bushes coming after you to the point where you're scared and in hiding because they want to blame you for his demise. So that's the sisterly sentiments, y'all. Make sure you know who you're dealing with and stop being out here doing random hookup type stuff because, depending on your mindset, you shouldn't be focused on that. That is the least important thing. Anyway, y'all drop down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about all this new information with brother Kevin Samuels.